Hi, welcome to Losing Weight with Elizabeth. I'm Elizabeth Petrone. So nice to have you. My topic today is, am I a binge eater? Well, what do you think? Are you guys a binge eater? Any binge eaters here? Oh, really, honestly, we almost have to say a hallelujah, right? Mm-hmm. I went to a picnic on Sunday, and I was fairly good in that first part of the day. You know, there was the dips and chips, but I wasn't terrible as I've been in the past. But you know, it was all right. And then the dinner came, and I just had a cheeseburger on a plate over salad. So no bread or anything, just the big salad and this cheeseburger. And honestly, I was thinking to myself, well, this is really, I'm having a good day. Plus, not a drop of alcohol, excuse me, not a drop of alcohol. So it goes along, and then the desserts come. So it was a strawberry shortcake pie, strawberry shortcake pie. Never had it before. Anyway, and I took a little tiny piece. I'm really telling you, it was a little tiny piece, and then I had extra strawberries, and I went, oh, okay, I can get this perfectly all right, you know, and I could take care of any problems this week at the gym, and you know, I'll eat really healthy and lightly, and you know, like that. No, it was not meant to be. Out comes a bag of these things called chocolate brittle brownies. Have you heard of them? No. Don't, please, don't even let me think, don't even think about them. But they sort of look like chocolate graham crackers with, yeah, right, with chocolate chips in them. And on the bag, it says only 120 calories, like it was a diet food, right? Only 120 calories. 1, 2, 3, 4. Couldn't stop eating those things. I'm telling you, I could not stop eating them. What do you think was the reason I couldn't stop eating them?
Because they were good.
Because you had one.
Because I had one. They were good. But how could 6 be good? Or 7, or 8, or however many? You mean, how could it be as tasty as the first one was? And I kept looking at that 120, and I kept going, 120, you know, 240, 660, you know what I mean? I just kept going like that and going, oh, what was wrong with me? And it's the sugar.
Yes.
And within 5 seconds, the sugar is taken over, and you can't even believe it's a rush. And then I finally stood up. There was a bunch of people there, and I took the bag and I rolled it up and I took it to another table, and I said, I don't want this in front of me. Just get rid of it. So then I thought, okay, there's nothing I can do about it. Let me not just go into a panic. Instead, the next day, I'm figuring I'm going to go swimming. I'm going to work out with my friend. We're going to have a nice, healthy lunch. None of that happened. It was a healthy lunch. Then it was mimosas. Then it was everything from Frankie's that you could buy that was fried, and lobster rolls. Really, you can't start your day on Monday like that. You have to, you know what I mean? So Tuesday I had to really, you know, work at it. But really, I was overeating to the extent, I would say binge eating totally with those crackers, with those chocolate things. What would be something you might binge eat on?
Okay, I'll confess.
Go ahead, confess.
I had such a craving. I'm an ice cream person, so I have to not really have it. So I had such a craving for a chocolate eclair. So I go to Cumberland Farms and I got a chocolate eclair, and I'm eating it in the car, and immediately I went to the store and got a box of them, and I ate the whole box like in 2 days.
Wow.
Because that's binging. I wanted to get rid of it so I wouldn't eat it anymore.
Oh, I know. Isn't it? It's like we want to get rid of it because we don't want to eat it
It was like,
anymore.
okay, I already ruined the day. Let me just eat the whole stupid box.
Yeah, right.
I did. I ate the whole box in like 12 hours.
How did you feel?
It's like if you eat the whole box, no one will know.
Right.
That's
I
on
already
this
messed-
list,
I
Carol.
already messed it up, so we're going into tomorrow, okay? I messed up Friday and Saturday, but then I've been good since,
How you've been
Saturday.
healthy?
yeah.
Yeah.
I lost 2 pounds. I'm
You
healthy.
lost 2 pounds,
So
so
that's
you
my
know.
confession, but
Jesus,
yeah.
although
was
I
on
hope
a
that's what
binge.
happens to me
I
when
was
I
on a
win.
binge.
You
I
were on
really
a
was on a binge last
binge.
weekend.
Yeah, and you know, that's really understandable. Listen, that lady back there, she doesn't have a microphone, but she told me earlier, I'm not even kidding you, she ate 6 pieces of pizza. 6. I'm not even joking about that. I was like, 6 pieces of pizza. I honestly think I would be really sick on 7. Have you ever had 6 pieces of pizza?
I don't think I
You
ever
have,
had.
yeah, yeah. Well, she's hanging her head in shame. But go ahead, tell me, what do you think was going on that you felt that way, that you could eat? Because that's a lot of pizza. Or were they just little tiny slices? Listen, let me try to give it
There's
up to
no
her.
such thing as a tiny slice.
I know. It's just we always eat that many portions. Like when I was home, we would all have at least 4 or 5 pieces.
Yeah.
That's just what we were used to. That was the norm, you know.
Yeah.
And like, my favorite pizza place in Waterbury is John's a Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
And I like to get the small special, and I could eat that whole. It's 8 slices. I can eat the whole thing. And
Yeah.
I won't be hungry for the rest of the day. But it's possible. I've done it before.
Yeah, it is possible. And were you stuffed?
Absolutely.
Stuffed, right?
Yeah.
And were you stuffed? Did you have
Oh,
beer? Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Well, no
I
wonder you had a
felt
stomachache
disgusting.
this weekend.
Yeah.
You know that.
No, that was last week.
Oh, that was last
before.
week. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it.
But I mean, I eat nothing else.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
doubled
No,
the calories.
sweetheart. Listen, we've all done it.
Yeah.
I just confessed it.
Yeah.
So now at
So
least
did
we
I.
have different things. So other people, you know, because other people will say pizza, but that lady told me 6 pieces of pizza, and I was like, oh no, that would really, you know, it would just be right here. Anything for you over there?
Yeah, gelato. I binged on gelato 2 nights ago.
Oh.
Yeah, it was good. It was worth it.
It was a lot. I don't even know how many calories in gelato. Is it
It's
a lot?
less than ice cream.
Is it
actually.
less?
A lot less or just a little less?
A little less.
A little less,
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, maybe 80 calories.
Listen, I eat a cup of ice cream before I even get any in the
Well,
bowl.
You know,
so
I got the littlest Skippy cup, the littlest cup.
yeah.
for a
Oh yeah,
child.
right. We're always trying with that, right?
But they managed to pilot it really well. And so I was done eating it, and because I chose chocolate chip cookie dough and didn't get any cookie dough, I only got the chips, I went back and got another one.
Oh God.
I would have done
And
that.
I was so stuffed after that, I didn't even eat dinner.
Oh well, at least you know there's
I
a
had
trade-off.
dessert
I mean, we're knowing that all of us know that you can't eat unhealthy like that, but that is going to happen. So that's the inability to stop eating or control what you're eating. It was so out of my grasp stopping at a reasonable point. And I went right back to that episode we had like a month ago about sugar, and I knew that's what was happening. And I just, you know, I finally got believe me, I would have just continued to eat it until there wasn't one tiny little bit left. It was so delicious. And you know what? It's really not that delicious. It's not like real chocolate or,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Rapidly eating a large amount of food. Now, I was rapidly eating those crackers. Were you rapidly eating those?
No.
Were you like savoring them?
I was like eating one, and then I'm thinking there's 5 left. Then an hour later went out and got another one.
Mm-hmm.
No, so I didn't rapidly, but guiltily all the way.
Oh, guilty eating all the way. Sure, of course,
Totally,
sweetheart.
you know.
And what about you? Was it rapid eating, or were you?
It was more like, oh my goodness, the cheese is so good and the sauce, I gotta have another one. Oh, this is so good, I gotta have another one. I gotta have another one. So it was just like compelling, you know, like a spell over
Calling
me.
your name.
Oh yeah, it's a spell. You will eat all the pizza. You will eat all the eclairs, right? I know.
Yeah.
But really, there has to be a reason beside the fact that we can't stop ourselves.
Right, yeah.
I have to find a good reason, right? And Carol, you couldn't, was it
I was
rapid eating?
savoring every
Oh, good girl. Well, you know, if you're going to go on a binge, let's at least enjoy it. And you did go slow. I went on a binge. I didn't go slow. I was eating it quickly, How about hiding food? That's a really bad one, hiding food. And I don't even want to ask you guys about that because that's just so hard on everyone. Everybody knows what they do. But I worked at this one place where I have my weight loss classes are there, and I walked into the bathroom, and it's no, fancy, luxurious bathroom. And there was a lady had Snickers bars. She was eating the Snickers bars in the bathroom. And I was like, gosh, I honestly have to say I felt really sorry for her that she was doing that.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Sure, I'd love to hear a funny story.
When I was first married, I didn't have a weight problem, but I guess I had this food thing and an ice cream thing. We lived across the street from a little, like, deli.
Okay,
So my
that's the
husband-
first problem,
so
living across from a
Yeah,
deli.
So my husband said, I'm going to go get a pack of cigarettes. I said, okay. We lived, like, on the 3rd floor, so it was really hot, and we had, like, fudgicles. We each had, like, a fudgicle after dinner. So I wanted another one. I said, well, he'll be gone like 5 minutes. So I take a fudgicle and I'm like eating the second one like a hog. And I was reading the newspaper and I heard him come up the steps, so I shoved it under the paper. And I was like, oh, he'll just go in the bathroom or go out on the porch and whatever, right? Well, he never did, and I forgot about it. So a little while later, like an hour later, he shuts the paper on the table. It's all melted.
The melted fudgicle on the
What's this? I go, like, he goes, what are you doing? I said, oh, I was hungry and I went. I mean, like, I got caught back then.
Oh, you got
wow.
caught. Yeah, right.
got caught.
Oh, I wouldn't like that at all. That would feel terrible, especially since I didn't get to eat it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so these are the symptoms of, binge eating, not being able to control, eating quickly, eating when you're full, which I've done a dozen times before, or more than a dozen, hiding food, gorging when you're alone. So it's all of those things are really binge eating.
Yes.
Emotional symptoms of binge eating are feeling stress or tension. So we talked about that before the show started, and that is really, stress and tension will really do it. There's the embarrassment about how much food you are eating. Because people, especially when you're losing weight, let's just get prepared for this right now. You can be losing weight, and you're doing really well, and people will say to you, you shouldn't be having that, should you? Aren't you trying to lose weight? Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, why don't they keep a lookout on their own plate? Mm-hmm. I think we should never judge someone else's plate. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a big one. And that makes it's really sometimes hard. So sometimes I think it's better if we just kind of keep it to ourselves, but that didn't work for me. Everybody was always making, oh, why are you using a small plate when you're going to eat all those cookies? You're like going, oh, isn't that so sad? Yes, I'm using this small plate so I can eat all those cookies. That is the reason.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I want to look at a neat pile, one on top of the other.
Yeah, right.
So it looks like one cookie.
Yeah, squish them together. Okay. Then there's the one when you're like on autopilot. Did you ever, tell me about that autopilot.
Oh, especially when I'm at like a picnic or a party, I find myself. It's like I'm automatically tasting everything, and then I go around and I taste it and I put it in my mouth real fast.
Yes.
And eat it and then go around again. That's what I did at my family reunion.
We say it's mindless eating,
Yes.
but I think there's something mindful about it. When you do it quickly, you know that but if you could stop yourself, you would, right? But it's mindless eating and mindful eating at the same time. I think it's in the front of your head and, the back of your head, the front of your head. That's like really hard to figure out. But that's when you're numb and you're on autopilot.
And the other thing is, like, when you're eating veggies and you dip those veggies in the dip, how do you know how many calories are in that dip? I mean, you're in a party. and
It's
you
no
have
good.
a-
There's just nothing good about that dip. That's really it. And you know, let's say you have 10 carrots. Well, each time you dip in, well, it depends on who you are too. Let's not forget,
Right.
it could be a whole teaspoon with each carrot, right? You could be having 200-300 calories just in dip, even no matter how good you're trying to be. So, you know, those are hidden calories. They seem like, you know, you're taking this little, you know, 15-calorie carrot and you're, you know, you're dipping it, but it's not 15 calories. Each one of those with the dip is probably 50 calories. It's not even a small amount. Or worse, celery. Even though
It can
it's low
hold
in
more.
calories,
It can hold
it
more.
has, it's an actual spoon, right? Okay, never feeling satisfied no matter what, and that can be very true. That's when you should go to bed.
Yeah.
Do you ever have that feeling when you
Yes.
just have you've not had enough? There's something going on. You never felt full or even comfortable, because really we don't want to be stuffed. We just want to, you know, be comfortable. So I think that never feeling, I'm, you know, I still have a little of that Western accent. Feeling full, feeling full, and and sometimes when you don't feel like that, I just say, let's just go to bed. I just have to go to bed sometimes, even though it's a little early, because I really cannot stop eating then. That's when something like one of these, you know, these emotional symptoms is going on, that I'm just mindlessly eating, you know. So, and then of course there's always the guilt, the disgust with yourself, right? The depression. What does that lead to? You eat, then what happens?
You feel bad about it.
You feel bad about it?
Then you eat
Guilty.
More.
Eat more. It's a vicious circle. It's just a vicious circle of things. And then there's this desperation to control and in our eating habits. And you know, we cannot control every single thing we eat. We just can't. So that's why we say don't diet edit. I had a bad Monday, I had a bad Sunday, I had a bad Monday, but I've had 3 really good days. You know, I mean, really healthy days is what I'll say. So sometimes we just have to go back to old school. What were we doing when we were first all excited and thinking everything was perfect? We were old school. Okay, so how can we manage binge eating? What kind of things can we do to help us with binge eating? We want to try to overcome it. Not that you're going to overcome it every single time, but you know, when are you going to, what can you do? Do you have any strategies at all that you use?
We could write things down.
Yes, writing things down would be really good. That would be, actually, that's on that list too.
Oh,
Keeping a
really?
food diary. You know why you keep a food diary? Because you want to see what's going on that you're doing this. Why are you doing this? What could be the big problem that's making you overeat this way? And I know what the problem was Sunday, and it was sugar. I wasn't depressed. I was having a great time. Nothing was stressful. It wasn't any of that. It was mindless eating and mindful eating, both things. That 120 was like a neon light on me. So what other things do you think?
Well, if you can choose like healthy things like carrots, little carrot, you know, bites,
Yeah.
or apple pieces to binge on, you know, that's better than
Sure. Grapes,
have-
popcorn, if you're looking for sweet and salty. I mean, there's a million choices of healthier choices than, you know, but of course if we don't buy it,
Planning.
but if you don't buy it, you can't eat it, which is really a hard one sometimes. Sometimes when I'm doing my basket and I'm going down and I see something I like, depending on the mood of this right here, I will put something in my basket and I will act surprised that it's in my basket. I'm not even kidding you. And when I get to the register, I put it on the thing like someone put it in my basket. And I'll go, well, what is that?
Who is that masked lady?
Who is that? Why would I do that, right? And then I say to myself, well, I'm not going to give it to the cash register, the girl at the cash register. I'll just take that home. I'll just take that home. But I am wrong. It's all me. My brother always loves to tell me the story of him going into one of the drugstores and he gets a Chunky, and he can see himself from overhead, unwrapping the Chunky, eating the Chunky. He's not enjoying the Chunky. He's just eating it. He sees himself. He's having an out-of-body experience eating it, and he has to go up to the register and hand them the empty paper. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? That's, so, I know. So, okay, so what's another one?
What was the question?
Well, I think strategy for overcoming binge eating. I think avoiding temptation would be a really smart one. So again, don't buy it, can't eat it. Practicing your willpower, yeah, I don't know about that willpower business. You need strength training in your willpower. Some days you have to make it your business to strength train your willpower. Like, let's say I know that they have a nurse's station or something like that, and there's always cookies, cake, candy. You can't go in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't go in there. You're going to be and the same thing with the teachers, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You get
Especially holidays.
Oh my goodness! The parents are bringing in this. People are having parties, and what are they doing? They're bringing their leftovers in. So I mean, we have to think about that. Eating 3 meals a day would be a really good idea, plus the snacks. So you're planning for snacks. But see, if you're not hungry, maybe you're more likely to choose something healthier when you're going on a binge. I don't know if that's really true, but I'm going to just go with the optimist and be like that. Here's the big one. Stop dieting. You know what? When you get out and about and you're having a really fun time and you've been really trying to lose weight and you're working really hard at it, and then all of a sudden there's all this temptation. If we had other stuff to eat, that we liked, like pizza, or even the eclairs, really, if we ate them now and again, they wouldn't have the same temptation.
Hard-boiled eggs help.
Oh, they're the lifesaver.
Me too.
Or
I did that
yogurt.
a lot this week.
If I do that before I go out to a party, it's a lot less likely that
Yep.
I'll gorge myself when I get there.
I've done that every day this week.
Yeah, and I think the other thing about, especially the going out part, let's just go with that, really, you're going out to see people, not to eat. So really, if you like the people you're going to go see, you should really concentrate on them. I think that would be the ideal situation, is concentrating on them. Oh, so then the deprivation shouldn't happen. Now, exercise, I know when you're in a bad mood, it's really, 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 really hard. But I say to you, if you could just go take a walk, especially when the weather's nice, or move around in some way, it'll be really good. So how are we doing on our time over there before I go over?
1 minute, 48 seconds.
Okay, I got one thing to tell you because I think this is fun. We've really covered everything about binging. There'll be a list up so you can look and see what it is. But I saw the best video today. It is from QVC or one of those things from Hawaii. And you sit in a chair, and it's electric. It's an electric chair of some sort. You sit in it, and it does the hula with your bottom.
Oh my goodness.
as a weight loss thing, and does your stomach.
Oh my
Wow.
A lot of people are doing the treadmill at their desk. Did you see that?
No, tell me, they have the
Yeah.
treadmill underneath their desk and just,
They're walking at the same time as they're doing their computer,
yeah.
and they're just staying on the treadmill, and they're going very slow, but they're moving.
But at least they're moving, and it's really not going to use a lot of calories, and it's not going to use a lot of calories
For 8
later.
hours doing that?
But yeah, I find that seems like, some sort of march, doesn't it? Seem like
They're
some sort
doing
of,
it.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
really, one of
Or
the
on
things
the
that,
phone, they're doing it on the treadmill.
oh,
They're
please,
standing
at the
up?
gym, people
Yeah,
are on
they're
reading,
right at
okay.
the
Here's the last one. So, but the hula thing was hilarious, and I bet they sold right out,
As you're
honestly.
drinking your pina coladas.
Yes, as you're
Yeah.
drinking your pina coladas, that's exactly what it is. Okay, so let's just try to look at the things to manage our stress. Let's try to exercise or meditate or do some breathing exercises. Let's eat 3 meals. Let's try to avoid temptation really hard. Let's exercise. Let's listen to our bodies. I will get sick if I eat like that. So that didn't happen this week, which I was a little disappointed about. So, and keep a food diary. That way you'll know, sometimes you'll know when a binge is coming on. All right, so have a healthy week, and I'll see you next week. Avoid binge eating. Bye. Oh, I thought that went so well, didn't you?
Outstanding,
Thank you. Thank you, Robert, there, stunt man.
I saw the credits at the end. It was like Robert so-and-so, Robert.
Stunt man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not anywhere near.
Stunt man, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
like,
just
what?
supposed to be funny. She was watching the credits, Robert.
And your name was